All right, welcome to our deals of the week. This week we've got, I think, probably one of the best deals that I've seen maybe in the last 6 months or so. So let's just jump into it. And remember, if you're out there looking to buy a house, we are in a buyer's market, but what you really should be focusing on is trying to identify motivated sellers. That is very critical right now. We've got a lot of sellers kind of dipping their toes in, seeing what kind of price they could get. If they don't get it, they're not going to sell. These are if you fall in love with a house, obviously go all in, try to make the deal happen. But if you're out there and you've got some flexibility, your best chance is to find not a desperate seller, but somebody who's motivated. And that's what we talk about on this channel is finding not just deals, but motivated sellers. And I think we have one here. So we're just going to jump right in. This first house is in Clearwater, which we don't do a lot of deals of the week up there, but there are some deals to be had. So let's take a look and see where this is. This is probably not a neighborhood that I normally go in. Actually, I'm going to just zoom out a little bit so you can kind of get a feel if you're not familiar with the Bay Area. St. Pete is on the south end of the peninsula, and Clearwater is right here. It's very easy access to Tampa and to the airport. There are a lot of flood zones in Clearwater. This is not one of them, so just be advised if you are looking in Clearwater to make sure that you always check the flood zone. So looks like a pretty good location, pretty close to Safety Harbor, which is a nice area as well. So the reason that I really was attracted to this one, and let's just jump into the pricing action on this one, because whenever I see a price per square foot this low, if the house is livable, I'm going to take a look at it, even if it needs some renovation. So if we look at the listing, originally started in November, went on the market at 408 at 243 a square foot, which I thought was at the time was probably a pretty decent price. It went pending within a few weeks, so the price was not bad. Ends up back on the market. So the way to read these things, if a house has only been on the market a few weeks, we're under a month here, and it was listed at 408, you can kind of safely assume that the offer price was somewhere in this neighborhood, maybe 399 or something. We're never going to know, but we can make that assumption. So they had their shot, didn't work out. At the beginning of the year, they lowered it to 388. It went pending again at 388. There was action at 388. And this is going to be very disappointing for a seller. So they got action at 388. We assume that the offer was somewhere in that neighborhood, but it goes back on the market at 360. So it's more likely that this 388 list price, that offer was probably somewhere in the 360, 365 range. Whatever the case, look at this price per square foot, $214 per square foot, which, that's like, I say 2019 prices, 2018 prices. Now, we're going to jump into the photos here in a second, but this is a dead middle of the market house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,681 square feet. So that looks great. The square footage includes an enclosed garage, which, if you watch my other videos, that's not my favorite thing in the world, but so many houses in the Bay Area were built at around 1,100 square feet with a garage, and 1,100 is a little small, so a lot of people have added that square footage by converting the garage. So let's just go through the pictures here, and you'll see this house is not perfect by any stretch. Really nice outside landscaping, mature neighborhood, but you can see already that the house is dated. I like this wood paneling. I hate this taupe beige against this oak floor. I don't know if that's laminate or hardwood, but they do have some nice crown molding up there. So you can already see that it's dated. There's a wall unit AC here, which is not something that we want to see. It's clean from what we can tell here. Separate laundry room. Big living room with nice vaulted ceilings here. And, the kitchen is dated. This is, screams 80s to me, maybe even 70s. These are Formica countertops. We got an old gas range in here. You could do a lot with this for remodel. So I mean, the question is it move-in ready? I mean, the cabinets, I always look for to see if these doors are hanging straight. That at least tells you that they might be in good shape, and they look to be in good shape. You could probably short term, if you didn't have a renovation budget, get some new appliances. We have a sort of almond colored white and stainless here. So these things got replaced as they broke. I don't know what this cord goes to because that looks like a gas stove, but obviously there's a light. That's kind of weird. You'd want to plug behind there. I don't like this backsplash. I mean, the kitchen stinks. Let's be honest. It's not a great kitchen, but it's good size. You could maybe paint the cabinets, get some new hardware, new appliances, live with it for a short period of time if you didn't have the budget to renovate. And then in the future, obviously renovate. So nice dining area. This is a primary bedroom with an ensuite bathroom. You see, everything is just old, like these metal sort of louvered doors. You wouldn't see those anymore. Telltale sign is the wallpaper border. This bathroom's a little tight, to be honest with you. But we've got some good square footage here. So, there's no arguing that this house is, oh, this is nice. Almost runs, looks like almost the length of the house. Very, very big. And with some, looks like outdoor carpet here. I'd get rid of that and do some tiling. And we've got a nice backyard. Now, this is not on a flood zone. It is on a little bit of a pond, though, so you're not going to have any rear neighbors. I mean, that alone is really, really nice. I mean, really nice landscaping. So I think what we've got here simply is somebody that's owned this house for a very long time. Actually, it was last sold in 1995. So, it doesn't look like there's been many updates over the years, but it looks like it's in pretty good shape. So, needs a lot of work, but we've had a number of price drops. We are at this low sale price. I'm telling you, back to almost 2019 numbers of $214 a square foot. For 50 grand, you could do a lot here with a new kitchen, interior paint, which would put you at 410. Drop a comment, let me know what you think. For a lot of people, they would not consider this move-in ready. I consider this move-in ready because in the past, what I've done is, I'm not a flipper. I would buy a house, live there for a year or sometimes two, slowly make the improvements, and then when I'm done, often at the 2-year mark for tax purposes, sell and then move on to the next one. That's what I would do. And it's not like this house is falling apart here. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's just very dated. So drop a comment, let me know what you think. My price target on this one is $207 a square foot, which would put it at $347. It's gotten action at this price and higher, so I don't think it's going to last at all. You're on the waterfront here. It's a nice little lake, but it's not in a flood zone. I think this is a winner if you're looking to live in Clearwater. The neighborhood looks nice. I checked out the street view earlier, and let's just do that real quick, just so you can get a feel. And it looks like it's on a cul-de-sac. The houses are all similar in size. No traffic back here. I mean, drop a know that 360 mark is still pretty high for a lot of people, but you're getting a full 3.2, 1,681 square feet for $214. My target at $207 a square foot, a little under $350. I think this is a winner. Let me know what you think, and let's take a look at house number 2. All right, let's take a look at house number 2 now. Now, this one is in Largo, and one of the reasons I picked this because I want to give you some comparison. It's almost literally exactly the same size. I mean, a few square feet difference. Also a 3.2, priced at $297 a square foot. So it's at $489. So substantially higher for basically the same size house. Now, it does have the garage intact, and it's a newer house. So I'm not saying we're comparing apples to apples, but it is same size, over $100,000 more. So let's take a look at where this is, first of all. And this is in Largo. It is a non-flood zone neighborhood, as always. I typically don't look at houses that are in a flood zone unless they're elevated. And the location is great because you are halfway between Clearwater and St. Pete. And I even put it on the the commute. It's 21 minutes to downtown St. Pete. You're about 15 minutes over to Indian Rocks. Once you get on the interstate, the airport is over here, probably about 40 minutes in traffic. So really good location. Let's take a look at the pricing action on this one as well. And we can see that this house went on the market in September of last year at $534, which was $324 a square foot, which I would argue even at the time might have been on a little on the high side. Once we got past, into the summer of last year, these prices started to drop a bit. I'm not saying this is way out of line because this house is a little bit newer, a little bit more updated, but this is what I love to see, these listing agents working with their sellers being very smart. This is 3 weeks on the market, dropped at 10 grand. That's a price change. A couple more weeks, another 10 grand. A couple more weeks, well, actually about 6 weeks after that, 5 grand, another one, another one, another one. So 6 price change, 7. We're on our 7th price change, methodically plotting their way down. I would bet they thought they were going to start getting more action around this number, but now that they're under $300 a square foot, it's going to start to become attractive to people, assuming the condition is good. So let's buzz through the pictures. The house looks great from the outside. This has got sort of that 90s feel to it with the stone fireplace and the vaulted ceilings, which is nice. Big open windows, and you'll notice here, always look for this if you're looking. You see these big white mullions on the windows. They're very wide and thick. That I don't know for sure, but that tells me that these are probably impact windows, which are, for a house this size, might be a $25,000 upgrade, which is nice. Now this living room does look narrow. I mean, this is obvious, they have a piano here, but this is probably, should be a dining area. And we don't have an open kitchen, which for some people they don't like, but you could easily, I'm sure you could blow this wall out, put a counter here, and then have a little, sort of dining area here as well. I mean, look at this backyard. You got some side yard parking here, or I mean, you come in the side here, and you can park in the backyard. So this looks like, and it looks like it's stubbed for power. So I'm guessing, it was a couple of days ago I went through this picture, so I don't remember. I would bet this guy's got an RV or had an RV, but beautiful backyard. Now again, probably needs some updates. This is probably original. The gold shower door here is probably original. Might not be to your taste, but everything looks nice and clean. Big, or at least decent sized primary suite. And then we can see some popcorn ceilings here, which, assuming there's no asbestos, could be easily scraped. So does need some updates, but looks very, very clean and very nice, well kept. Now this is not my taste, but remember on the last house we showed, I said you could probably paint the cabinets. I wouldn't go for the red. It's a little modern for this kind of house to me. The rest of the house has kind of got a traditional feel and they want red, but hey, good for them. You could repaint this white, live with it for a while. They got some stainless appliances here. Nice tiled back porch. Looks like some from a storm. These fences really take a beating with the wind. That could be easily replaced. Oh, there's the RV. So drop a comment. Let me know what you think. That first house we saw, which was priced at $360, I think we should be at $349. Same exact size within 8 or 10 square feet. Obviously, we're in a different neighborhood. This is in Largo, Clearwater. I would argue for lots of things, location-wise, there's not that much difference. I mean, the specific neighborhood, I think this specific neighborhood is a little bit nicer because it's deed restricted. But they're not in a flood zone. They have good access to the beaches, good access to downtown St. Pete and Clearwater, and Tampa as well. But $120,000 more. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. I like this house at $300 a square foot, but it does need some work. I'm thinking you're going to probably need to redo that kitchen. Maybe I would probably blow out that kitchen wall and open things up a little bit. So if you've got a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 budget here, this might be the house for you. My price target is $284 a square foot. working off of this 297, which doesn't seem like a terrible price, but based on the upgrades I think we need. At 468, if you put 40 into it, you'd be just a little over 500 for a 3.2 with a beautiful yard. This house is a bit newer. I think the house was built in, let's just see, this house was built in 1988. Let me know what you think. This is, I think both of these houses are winners. This one's a little bit higher than I'd like it to be. I got my price target at 284, which is 468, maybe in the 450 range. So I could do 40 grand and still be under 500 on a renovation. Drop a comment, let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel for future deals of the week. My name is Steve Reynolds. If you're thinking about buying or selling here in the Tampa Bay area, anywhere in Pinellas or even Hillsborough, a little bit of Polk County, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email. I would love to help you out. That's been Deals of the Week, and I will see you next time.